Hello, sorry about that delay there, everybody. For some reason, we paused. I don't know what that was, but hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Authentic. We're going to be doing some tarot reading tonight. It's a new month. So if you would like to know what is going to be happening for December, please do let us know. Also, for those coming in, good evening. Please let us know where you are coming in from, where in the world you are coming in from, I should say. And also, for those that may question, I am wearing a red ribbon. I can't quite see it. I need to move it up higher. I'm wearing a red ribbon because today is World AIDS Day. And we know that across the world, HIV and AIDS has become a manageable condition if you are fortunate enough to live in a country where access to healthcare isn't dependent on funds. Okay, I know various people that are living with HIV, that are HIV positive, and living very, very long and very healthy lives. And it's just part of a manageable illness, the same way I have diabetes. It's very, very similar. However, I also know that in America and other places that it is quite difficult for a lot of people with HIV and AIDS because of the cost of the medication. So let alone third world and developing countries where a lot of medication is very, very, very expensive, and where HIV and AIDS is still basically a terminal condition. So yes, for everybody who is wondering, if you haven't seen these about quite as much as poppies, it's because for a lot of people they consider the sort of World AIDS Day event as not being needed, but it raises the profile. It still is something that is needed, and there is an event in Leeds that I have been to in previous years, marking and celebrating the lives of people with HIV and AIDS or that have passed. So yes, that's why I'm wearing that. I've also got two little flags. One is the non-binary flag, which is currently upside down and will not spin, and the trans flag. So that is something that I wear for visibility purposes as a trans YouTuber. I have, I have non-binary friends. I have a non-binary moderator, two non-binary moderators. I have non-binary family members. And again, in this climate across the world, I think it's very important to be seen as a supportive ally of non-binary folk, and also as a openly trans woman. So there we go. That's why I'm wearing that today, just in case you're wondering. Also, I'm wearing a hoodie because it's cold and it's December. But you can see, look, here, this one there, look, we've got a little new thingy. It says Witchmas 2024. That is because I am attempting again to do Witchmas this year. What is Witchmas? It's my version, or the Witchy community's version, of Vlogmas. Yes. So the plan is that I will be making content and uploading content every single day this month in the run up to Christmas. Yeah, I know, right? A little bit ambitious for someone who can barely keep a twice weekly schedule running. Very, 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 it's going to be an ambitious one, but I've made this, so therefore it's important. And that may or may not be the font for a certain film that's in cinemas right now. Anyway, let's have a look at who's here with us today so far this morning. This morning? What? Yeah, that's right, Lisa. Obviously, my brain is still a little bit bonked. Good evening. I need to be so careful. Country, my darling, good evening to you. I hope you're well. Good evening to Celine. You're from Paris. Bonsoir, Céline. Ça va? Good evening to Holland. Hello, Holland. Good evening to Sarah. I didn't go up far enough. Look, I've got more people above you. Good evening to Patricia. Good evening to, who else have I seen pop in? Wolf Boyo. Hello, my darling. Hi, peeps. Watching while watching TV and getting stuck in with my uni studies. Also, Christmas is 24 days away. Yep, I know, right? Winter solstice is 20 days. Not even 3 weeks. 3 weeks yesterday to the winter solstice. And then you realize 3 weeks today, we're heading towards summer. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? 3 weeks today, we start heading towards summer. As of 3 weeks' time, the days start getting longer again. Yes, it's so exciting. I love this time of year. Who else did I see? Melinda. Hello, my darling. Good evening to you. I hope you are well. Good evening to Jack. Hello, my darling. Welcome to you. I hope you are well. You chuckle every time you pause before. Yep. I've got to be so careful saying it now, my darling. I really, really, really do. But yeah, I do pause every single time. Ça va, bien, merci, et vous, madame? Ah, très bien, merci beaucoup. Also, très bien. Very, very well, thank you. I'm doing all right. Yes, I am. That is the sum total of my parler le français. But yes, it is December. We are good to go. It's going to be an interesting month as always, and if you would like a tarot reading for the month ahead, we're going to be doing those tonight specifically. But if you also just want a general reading, or you want to find out the answers to a specific question in your life, you can do that as well. But obviously, don't forget, before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future. Yes, indeed. Do keep your personal info private, right? Listen, in the same way, you know those photos, you know those photos that you took and you shared with your boyfriend that one time, right? You know those photos as you were coming out the shower and you thought you felt really cute, and so you posed in the bathroom mirror and things were on show and it was just between you and your boyfriend. You wouldn't want them getting on the internet, would you? You wouldn't want your granny to log into her Facebook or whatever it is and be on her hot pot recipes page on YouTube on her little group and have somebody go, isn't that your Jessica there in that picture? Oh, look, she's definitely rounded out over the years, hasn't she? She's become a very grown big girl now. Very very motherly, very motherly assets she has now. Yes. If you don't want that photo spreading all across the internet, just think how much damage comments that you are when you're asking for help or when you are just on a really friendly little warm and welcoming corner of the internet like our channel. Just remember, things that are said one way could be absolutely taken out of context and could be absolutely twisted around and be absolutely made to look very different in years to come. That's all I'm going to say. We know how many times have we seen a footballer or a celebrity, it be announced someone's being cast in a massive film, and then they look back on their back on their social medias and they get dropped because they made comments that were unsavory back in the day. It's the same thing. Yes, we are a micro channel. Yes, YouTube and the big brothers of the world probably aren't paying that much attention to us, but just be careful. Also, remember, if you put something personal about your life, this is public. Other people can see it. That might be somebody you want to see it. It might be the last person you want to see it. It's still accessible. And on that note of warnings and things like that, did I say it was Witchmas? Did I have I played that? Did I play this? Did I do this? I can't remember. I'm going to hit it again. It's Witchmas. So I'm going to play a video. Thank you, Holland. I'm going to upload a video every single day this month, all the way through till Christmas. And so if you want anything particularly covered, say if you want me to upload how to do tarot or, card of the day videos, if you want that content, let me know, please, in the comments on this video or down in the description, down in the comments section after the live. Let me know, because I really want to make content that the subscribers here want to see. There will be some spell work and some other bits and pieces coming up, but if you want to see specific things, do please let me know. Do please reach out and tell me if there's something you want to see. If you want to see 3-card, pick a card type videos, I can do all of those. Just let me know. Right then, oh no, don't end stream. That's very much not the thing I want to do. Good evening, NY. We've got your question. In fact, yours will be the first question. Right, my darling, you've thank you very much for the donation. You hit right in between the right before the amount for a longer card reading. Were you intending on getting a 6-card reading, my darling? Because if I press that, and if I press this one here, there we go. If you send a super chat of $8 or above, which is £6 or above, then you do get yourself a longer reading. Okay, so if you wanted a 6-card reading, do just send that extra dollar, and I can do that reading now. I'll start your reading now, but just say if you want that for in the comments, and we'll get one of the mods to let me know. Yay! Holland is upgraded to 7 months. Woo! Press the applause. Yay! Oh, I love seeing people's members video. Thank you, NY. I'll get onto it right now, my darling. I love seeing people's members videos. It's so cool. Right then, so as you know on this channel, when somebody actually does send a super chat, that takes the next spot. So the first cab off the rank today is going to be NC. And my darling, your let me just take that banner off. Your question is coming up in precisely 17 seconds while I go ahead and swap the cameras round. So don't go anywhere, NY. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! As always. Oh, I did. Oh, that's, yeah, you need to click the button, Lisa. Just pulling a camera into position. Oh gosh. Right then, what is coming towards you in December? NY, let's have a look, my darling. So as always, we are cleansing. Oh, we're going that way this time. Cleansing the space, as always, with a bell. We do that to cleanse the energy in between readings. We're also going to bring in the always lovely Wispy, who is my air elemental dragon. The deck we're using today, the deck is the Light Seers Tarot. Hopefully you're hearing that correctly today, Holland. The deck, it's the Light Seers. I love this. It's a very modern deck, and it's very earthy and it's just a really nice deck to use. I do have some more that I may be using this month as well. I think I may well be getting the Season of the Witch Yuletide deck. I don't really have Christmassy Yuley type deck, so maybe I'm very tempted to get that. But as I was saying in the members only chat earlier, I have a vast quantity of decks that I need to get through, and I can't really justify buying more at the moment when I've got so many that I need to review. But I also don't have a Christmassy Yuletide deck, and I do want to get one. Anyway, so then, Wispy, we're doing the inverted V, and we're looking for what is coming towards NY for December, for this coming month. So interesting, we've got the Hermit coming up in the where you are now. So this is the energy you're bringing in from November to December, the energy that you are bringing. We've got the Eight of Wands in what you need to know, and we've got the Ace of Wands for the future. So this is interesting as we go into the 2025. You've got the Ace of Wands. That's really positive. Right then, so linking the Hermit to the Eight of Wands, we have the Four of Swords. Could be better, could be worse. Linking the Eight of Wands to the Ace of Wands, we've got the Six of Wands reversed, and the root for you, my darling, is it's the Eight of Pentacles. Right then, so let's get into it for you. So the Hermit, what does the Hermit mean? Well, it's kind of in the name, really, with the Hermit. So the sort of more standard depiction is a bit more like this: an old guy in a cave, or an old person in a cave with a lantern. This person is kind of, as you can see, is kind of not in the cave. They just sat on the rocks, but they've got their lantern and they are away from everybody. You can see here, I don't know whether they're floating or whether they're supposed to be sat on these rocks. Either way, they are off this trail. So they have separated themselves from other people. Now, the thing about the Hermit, it's reversed at the moment. Excuse me. So the Hermit is about stepping away from other people, taking yourself out of that rat race, giving yourself time, whether that is time to heal or time to find that inner wisdom, time to get the answers. The Hermit is very much about seeking guidance, okay? Because this is reversed, I don't know whether this is you feeling a little bit lonely at the moment, because the thing about the Hermit, this way up, that loneliness, that solitude is important for the Hermit. It's how they process the things in life. It's how they seek the wisdom and come up with all of those answers to life, the universe, and everything. I mean, we all know it's 42, but how you get to 42, that is the big question. Just ask the mice. But it's an interesting card. If it's something that you can connect with, that you've been feeling a little bit isolated, maybe you popped yourself into that position for whatever reason. You separated yourself from the people around you, and maybe that was something that you needed to do for your own mental health, for your own, boundary setting and things like that. But now you've done it, now that isolation is kicking in, maybe you're feeling a little bit lonely and a little bit separate, which again can often start as a good thing, but a little too much of what we like, it doesn't just lead to us overeating and getting fat. In my case, it can also lead to loneliness in case of separating. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? What you need to know, we've got the Eight of Wands. Now this is important, right? It's really important. And why? Because although this particular deck, sorry, I'm just taking off my Crocs. My feet have got very warm. I've got some of those, what's it called? Crocs with the woolly lining. They're so comfy, but they do get your feet warm. Anyway, the Eight of Wands. So this card is absolutely important because it's a card of very significant change, right? The eights are all about going from where you are to the 9, right? We've got another 8 here at the core, which is interesting that we've got 2 8s opposite each other. But anyway, so in what you need to know, for the standard Rider-Waite depiction of this deck, you have all of the wands in the air diagonally. And in the deck that I used for 20 odd years, the Connolly deck, they are scattered in the air. In this case, it looks a little bit more organized, but what the 8 is absolutely saying is this is a chance for you to take the pillars of your life, all of those important parts of your life, and decide which ones you are taking forward on your journey to the 9, right? Wands is your confidence. So what we're saying with this is December is going to be about you deciding which elements of your life make you feel more confident, which parts of your life make you feel, more everything. You know what I mean? Like, you're more confident, you feel better about yourself, you I don't know, maybe you really like wearing formal clothing, right? For instance, you like the suit and tie look, or you like the posh frock look, which I don't know your gender, and it doesn't matter your gender to wear whatever you want. But so whatever it is, maybe you like wearing formal clothing, right? And the job you're in, you can wear casual if you want to. And maybe this is literally saying, do you know what? I feel more comfortable in something a bit more formal, something a bit more professional looking. So even though December is casual month at work, I don't really want to be casual. I might not wear a tie every day, or I might not wear heels every day, or whatever it is. But you know what? Actually, I'm still going to go in feeling confident. And if that means, trousers and a shirt, or a nice formal dress, then so be it. Do you know what I mean? It could be something along those lines. Whatever it is, if something is making you feel confident, you want to take those parts of your life forward. And this is the month where you get to pick and also leave behind, this is important, the bits that don't make you feel confident, right? It's a bit like that. I can't remember what it's called. That thing where you pick things out of your wardrobe and you say, does this spark joy? No, get rid of that. Does this spark joy? Oh, it does. That it's a bit like doing that technique, but with the whole of your life. And it's a really good time to do it, because you're doing it before the new year. And quite often we focus on January 1st as being, I'm going to get some New Year's resolutions. They never stick because they are arbitrary. We need New Year's resolutions because it's January 1st. No, you don't. Let's do them in December. If you're going to make that change, if you're going to take forward all of these really positive aspects and leave behind the crap, then do it now. Like, don't keep carrying bullshit and baggage with you any further. Do it now. And this is what this is basically saying, because in the future position, in the end of December, in January, you've got the Ace of Wands. This is a brand new start. This is a new project. This is a brand new venture into confidence, right? This is into that sense of being, that sense of self for you, that will make you feel the most fierce, or the most, defined, the most girl boss, or the most boy boss, or the most they boss, whatever it is. You are going to feel and start feeling your best in 2025. This is coming at the end of December, right? So this is the energy you're going to be leaving the year with. So this is all really positive. These 3 cards, super positive. As we go deeper, we've got the 4 of Swords linking the Hermit and the 8 of Wands. Now, Swords is trouble, strife, turmoil, hurdles, right? These are the challenges in life. Now, 4 is about stability. If you think 4 chair legs, 4 table legs, right? 4 of Swords, it's stability. The challenges are stuff that you can deal with. However, when it's this way round, as it's come up in your reading, I think one of the things that has been blocking you is a feeling of stagnation, a feeling of not going anywhere. The energy around you is very dry, very still. There's not a lot of movement, and that's becoming a problem, right? This is saying that this is why you need to do this sort of refreshing, and you need to do it sooner rather than later. You need to refresh that energy. What is it about you that you are really proud of? What is it about you that you really enjoy doing? How can you make more of that in your life? And the things that you don't like, how can you jettison those? That's the big question, because it's stagnation at the moment. You've also got the 6 of Wands reversed. Now, this is interesting, right? With the Hermit here, 6 of Wands. 6 is about people, community, those people around you. That could be loved ones, family members, blood relatives, or the family that you choose. Or people you work with, just the people that are surrounding you. Well, wands again is your confidence, right? Wands again is that feeling of empowerment and how you feel about yourself. This is reversed. So this again is saying that one of the things here that you might need to learn, and one of the things for December is, look, if you don't want to spend a family Christmas, don't spend a family Christmas. But if you do, don't feel that you have to be on the outside, right? If being around one set of people is not very good, then don't be around that set of people. If being around if being around a massive group makes you feel some negative way, don't be around a massive group. Do you know what I mean? Put your needs first. This card is reversed, and it's saying that perhaps that wide community, it could be something like a work do. I used to hate going to work do's, and I used to say to people, look, with a few exceptions, I'm paid to be in the same room as you from these hours. What I choose to do once those hours are over, I might choose to spend time with some of you, but I also wouldn't spend time with all of you. Do you know what I mean? And then for right at the base, we've got the 8 of Pentacles. This is a little bit about, because we've got the 8 of Wands here, this is a little bit about priorities. So this is literally, again, moving from where you are to how you climb that corporate ladder, how you gain more money, more finances, more material things, right? How you grow at work. This is suggesting almost a little bit of burnout, heading towards burnout, because the 8 is literally burning that candle at both ends to try and get to the 9 of Pentacles, which is more money, more wealth, more success. Is that going to make you happy? Because looking at this, if we take this, and interesting, you've got this, what actually makes you happy, what actually makes you confident, and what the world tells you need to be confident. But if we take this out of the equation very briefly and go past to future, we've got the Hermit. So isolation leading to stagnation, in becoming a problem, things not changing. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Leading to the 8, this feeling of working all the time for what? For who? Working for the man every night and day? Yep, probably. Leading to this feeling of not wanting to be around people because those people don't lift you up. They, almost keep you down. Ending up in, if all of this is true, you need to start afresh. You need to start something else. Something else is coming your way, right? And a new beginning, a new refresh is coming your way, my darling. Listen, I hope this helps, right? It feels like December's going to be quite a pivotal month in your life. So just remember, as you go into 2025, as you make those big life decisions, all of this is your choice. All of this, everything that I talk about, you make all the decisions in your life. Okay, my darling? Just remember, right? Just remember, you don't owe anybody anything. And this is all about starting something that makes you feel your very best. It isn't necessarily a new job. It isn't necessarily a promotion where you are. It isn't moving to a different company to do the same old 9 to 5. It isn't, being in the same room, whatever, the same house, the same relationship. If things in your life are not making you happy, this is about changing them, and changing them for you, not for anybody else, just for you. I hope that helps, my darling. Thank you for the donation. And thank you ever so much for your question. Right then, everybody, I am going to come back to the chats. By the way, I hope the mods have said I don't have the chat open while I'm actually doing readings, because I am ADHD and neurospicy, and I absolutely will be all over the place when I am reading. I will be commenting on everything. Right then, let's have a look in the comments. Patricia's joined the 7-month club. Look at that. Yay. Oh, the one where I go, oh my god, that's years old. Could not tell you. It is years and years and years and years and years old. Might even be older than that, Patricia. Might even be older than that. We've had the room this way round for a good year and a half, so it could even be older than that. Yeah, don't remember. But you get it. Oh, fantastic. A bit of spring cleaning. Yes, it is, isn't it? This deck is wonderful. It really is. It is a bit of spring cleaning, and I'm glad it helps, my darling. It's that emotional and sort of fulfillment. Bloody flying here then. It's that emotional fulfillment. Do you know what I mean? It's that one of that emotional spring cleaning and that feeling confident and just setting your own boundaries. And not only that, but moving forward in something that is going to make you feel better. I wish I could remember that. Does it bring you joy? Does it spark joy? Whoever that person is, and you all will know what I'm talking about. That person, it's that, but in not just about the items in your wardrobe. Do you know what I mean? And again, just to show everybody, this is how I shove all the cards back in. So if we get repeats, we shove them in and then I shuffle them. So they all get put in different places. So if we do get repeats, that is why. Right then. So let's Marie Kondo. Thank you. I always forget that. Yes, it is the Marie Kondo technique or method or whatever they call it, the Kondo method. It makes me, it's one of those things when you say the Kondo method, it's like condom. What are you actually saying? Condom method, the condor. What we throw it really high up in the air as it heads towards the sun. The golden, oh my gosh, what was it called? What was the children's series called? Oh my God. Golden Condor. Oh my God, what was that? It was something to do with the Aztecs or the Incas or the Mayans. It wasn't Mayan. Temples of Gold. Wow. My brain, my poorly brain. Anyway, shall we have, I know, right? Marie Kondo got me going to the Temples of Gold or whatever it was called. Anyway, let's you're watching live as my neurospicy brain neurospices. Anyway, let's go and have another free round then. So for some reason my buttons still aren't working, but it is a free round. I'm going to press the air horn. So go ahead, pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question if you would like a reading. If you want to guarantee your place, you can always do so by sending it as a super chat, as NY did just earlier. If you do put your question in the live chat, make sure it starts with that word question, and then one of your questions will get picked at random, okay? That's a really important thing. It will be picked totally at random by the keeper of the questions, and they've got a randomizery thing. And the reason we do it that way, that somebody else tells me who it is because it means that I cannot be accused of, what's it called, like swaying the swaying the pick. Do you know what I mean? I can't be accused of going, oh, I'm giving it to this person because I like that person or whatever. It's completely randomized. Right then. So all of that being said, get your questions in. Take advantage of that super chat option if you want to guarantee your question. $8, £6 or above if you want to guarantee it being a longer reading. Either way, you've got 32 seconds to get your questions in. Oh, I'm just taking my hoodie off now. It's got much warmer. This radiator's not on, but it's got much warmer this evening. Oh. I'm now stuck with my T-Rex arms. I can't move my arms. Rawr. Rawr. Hang on. Hang on a second. Because of the fibro, I haven't got as much mobility as I used to have. Oh, there we go. Wiggle it. Oh, my arm's free. I honestly got a bit worried then. I nearly thought I'm going to have to call for help to get myself out of a hoodie. Oh, come on. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, unfortunately, these days, I don't have the agility that I used to have. And even taking off a hoodie can be actually quite difficult for me. I know, right? Poor me. No. Right then. So apparently we've got Sierra. Sierra. Have we got Sierra? Hey, Wolf Boy. Oh, there we go. I've got you, my darling. When will I be? Oh, I can't answer that question, Sierra. You're going to have to ask another question, my darling, and I can't answer that one because it is a medical question, or I'm assuming it's a medical question. Yeah, I don't think I can answer that question because if I say, right, so for example, if I was to say to you, oh, you can work next month, right, and you start a job or you start something in January and then you aren't physically able to do that and you have an injury in January, it means potentially you could hold me liable. Equally, if I say to you, oh, not until May, and you're absolutely fine to start work in, I don't know, you're absolutely fine to start work. It's all right, Holland. To start work in January, for instance, then it means I've delayed that for months as well. So that's why I can't answer questions of that nature, my darling. Okay, it's circumstantial. Your background check was flagged. Right. Okay. So it isn't. Okie dokie. It isn't. Thank you, Wolf Boyo. That was the question. That was the word I was thinking of. Yes. Favoritism. Yes. That's exactly the word I was thinking of. See, you know me so well. Sierra, in that case, I can read for you. So I will read for you now, my darling. It's fine. If it's not medical, that's fine. We'll go with it. So bear with me then. Your question will come up in 15 seconds, my darling, whilst I change the camera. Right then, let's have a look. You can see my lovely fire there. It's keeping me nice and warm. That roasting log fire. Do you know, just tangent here again. Sarah, I'm gonna do your cleansing bit while I tangent, right? I've got the app thing. Oh, okay. It looks like you've sent another question. So I will answer that one then, my darling. Okie dokie, no problem. Thank you, Patricia, for updating me on the mod chat. I've got one of those assistant-y things, right? You know, the plug-in things that mine is the one that Amazon does, not the one that Google does, and not the one that's on iPhones, right? So you know the one I'm talking about. And at nighttime, it plays soft rain music. So I listen to soft rain as I sleep. I tried putting on crackling fire. It doesn't work for my subconscious because I end up dreaming that my house is on fire and I end up waking up in a bit of a panic. So yes, just be very careful. I went back to soft rain immediately because at least if I wake up and I think it's raining, my brain says you've been hearing raining all night, it's probably wet outside, and I open the window and it's nice and dry. That's not a thing, right? I don't have to be worried about that. But waking up thinking that the house is on fire when I've been asleep for like 3 hours and then having to check every room just to make sure, not good. So there you go, a little tip from me. As much as it's lovely crackling fire, right? Crackling fire, have it in the lounge while you're like chilling out with a lovely video on of a roaring fire. That's lovely. Don't use it overnight. It doesn't work. Right then, or didn't work for me anyway. Right, Wispy. We've got it. Ooh, the cards are wanting to flip tonight. We've got a question from Sierra. Are things ever going to get better with RV? I think I've ruined the relationship. That's multiple cards falling. That isn't a single card. So then, Armis Spiritual, I've got your question in. I've just seen it pop up on the question, the what's it called? On my starred question list, if that makes sense. So I will get to that shortly, my darling. Here we go, Sierra. Let's see. Has Sierra ruined the friendship, Wispy? That's what we want to know. So then, oh, don't need a bulldog click. Thank you very much. Here we go. And we go with the past. What did I tell you? You've seen me shuffling, right? Once cards have come up once, the dragon, my lovely Wispy, likes to use them again in different places to give different meanings. It's something that for some reason happens a lot on this channel, right? It doesn't happen out in the world, but it really does come up a lot. You've got the Lovers reversed and again the Six of Wands, but this time it's come up upright. Right, okay. You saw me shuffling the cards, everybody. You saw me put them in right in the middle of the pack somewhere. You know, what can I say? Right. So the Ace of Wands is reversed. In fact, both of these are reversed now from where they were. That's interesting. I've obviously picked it up, and as I've been handling it, it's gone the other way. Anywho, so where you are right now, the energy coming into this situation, we've got the Ace of Wands reversed. This is not... whatever's changed, whatever's happened, right? Whatever disagreement, argument, whatever else, it's a new, you're in a new place in that friendship, right? So whatever's happened, it started. So this is a new project, new start, new beginning, right? With that relationship, it started something new. It's put it on a new line, a new path, a new road, right? It's taking it from the relationship you had into something different, and it's not good. It's not a positive place because it's reversed, and because it is in Wands, which is all about your self-esteem. You can kind of think of this as being about the self-esteem of the friendship, the quality and the way that each of you think about each other, because it's very much about that. I don't think it's particularly good right now. It feels like the friendship hasn't exactly taken a turn. It's like it's completely changed in its nature. Do you know what I mean? A bit like a butterfly can never go back to being a caterpillar. That can never go back. It's essentially evolved, and now it's in its new evolved state. There's no way to take it back to where it was. This isn't just where, you know, things. It's not like, this isn't like a casserole or a stew or a curry recipe where you add another ingredient and it adds a new flavor in. This isn't a new flavor. This is a completely big shift, a completely different shift. It's backed up with, what do you need to know? We've got the Lovers reversed, right? So the Lovers isn't just about kissy kissy, wham bam, thank you ma'am, oh I love you so much, yes, wow. It's not just about that. It's also about that strong connection that you can have with somebody else, and it's that strong connection that, you know, even if so the Lovers card can come up even if you're not sexual romantic lovers. If you were very, very close friends, that can still come up under the Lovers, because it's people you care about. And it's reversed, my darling. It's like, it feels like that energy has shifted so much that whether or not you are still cordial with each other would be, you know, quite a big question, to be honest. And then in the future, we've got the Six of Wands upright. Now, this this feels like, if you are able to be friends, it's like you won't ever hang out one-to-one. It's like you might be friends in a group, you know. It's like if you are if you both happen to be invited to go and see the same movie, right? And you've got a bunch of friends who are going to see, let's say they're going to see Wicked, right? So you get 4 or 5 people going to see Wicked. And obviously, if they're inviting Sierra, they obviously will invite Bob, right? Bob, the friend. So they invite Bob, they invite Sierra, and you're cordial with each other. You're able to be around the same space. You kind of, you're not backbiting and clawing at each other. But once that group dissipates, you both go your separate ways. Do you know what I mean? It feels very much like the confidence and that sense of belonging is now only going to be within that wider circle, because the sixes are about groups, the sixes are about community, and it feels like, you know, the relationship, because it has shifted, it's jumped that rail onto a different rail, and now it's on the sort of almost fond acquaintance kind of rail, rather than being on the besties rail. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel as if it's going to get better. It feels like the conditions of the friendship have now changed. It doesn't mean long term that you can't repair that. It depends who's at fault. It depends who takes that step towards apologizing and forgiving and all of that sort of stuff that goes on with relationships. And it may be that something has fundamentally changed, and that is now, you know, the relationship has now jumped that track and is always and forever going to be just an acquaintance level. You know, we used to be best friends, now we're just acquaintances, now we see each other occasionally. And if that's the case, my darling, then celebrate the relationship that you had and the friendship you had while you had it, and, you know, mourn for that connection if you need to. But also, what I would say, my darling, is that sometimes, oh my God, I'm quoting Wicked. I haven't seen the film, but people do come into our lives for a reason, right? And sometimes they can't follow your journey forever. It feels really rough, but sometimes, like the railway tracks, again, using that analogy, sometimes they merge, and you can kind of have 2 people going along like this, or maybe like this, where they're going along side by side for a while, and then things happen in life and you go back to being on that separate track, and then for a while you can kind of carry on until one of you naturally just verges off, and you've still got that connection you've still got that memory of that friendship, but it just isn't now. You're not just on your lives are not running parallel for this next bit. Does that make sense? I hope that helps, my darling. Listen, friendships are an absolute minefield. I do not know. I'm just taking that crap from under my nails. I picked off a lottery scratch card earlier and got it all under my nails. I have to do it. I don't do it with coins. I do it like this because I've got nails. Anyway. I don't know how friendships work. I am completely at a loss to how friendships work, which is why I've got so few friends. And I can consider the most of my friends are now in some way connected with this channel, because, you know, they are wonderful people, the human beings that are mods. So yay. Right then, but that is going to be it, my darling. I hope that helps. I really do. Listen, it can be painful when things end. It can be painful. And it may be that you said something or did something that caused the split, but it may also just be that its time had run its course. Do you know what I mean? It's like sometimes in life, things just come to an end, and we've got to just accept that and move on. I do hope that helps, though, my darling, and thank you ever so much for your question. And again, if the lovely Patricia has a saying, what's meant to you won't pass you by. So if that friendship was meant to be for the next sector of your life, this next chapter, then it would still be there. Obviously, the fact that that friendship has now changed and it's now become something different, it means that you don't need that in this next chapter of your life. Okay, that friendship now moving on isn't for you. That connection isn't for you. There's something else coming your way for this next chapter. I hope that helps, my darling, and thank you ever so much for your question. Right then, I'm going to pop into the live doodahs. Let's have a look. Who's echoing? Hopefully I'm not echoing. Ed's here properly. Good evening, Ed. Okay, my darling, you go ahead and do your work. Have a good week, and we'll see you soon. Wolf Bio, let us know how things go. Alina, good evening, Alina. Hopefully you are having a wonderful weekend. Who else have I got? Oh, hang on. We are roommates, and we don't have any friends in common anymore. We are just like ships in the night. Yep. Unfortunately, my darling, that can happen, and that's it. That's it. You flipped R a couple of times. Do you mean you did the you did the? Is that what you mean? You jiggy with it, do getting jiggy with it, do. Was it a bit of that, or was it something else? I don't quite know what that means, but in my head it means. He's been away for Thanksgiving holiday, but you're hoping to talk to him when he returns. Okay, my darling. Oh, has everybody hit the thumbs up button? I don't know because I can't see it while I'm on StreamYard. Can you all check, please? Can we have a massive thumbs up in the comments? No, not in the comments. In the thumbs up. Press the like button. God, you know what I'm trying to say. The thumbsy uppy button on the YouTubes. Press that, please. Thank you very much. It's very useful and very helpful. And if you do, you will make my nice list.
You just made the list.
Yes, I've been waiting to get an excuse to get that Chris Jericho soundbite in for ages. Yes, so you will join the nice list.
You just made the list.
If you make the list, if you hit the thumbs up. Otherwise, you're on the naughty list.
You just made the list.
Which is the same soundbite. So yes, thank you very much. Shan L, good evening to you. No problem at all, Sierra. I hope it helps. Queen 707, hello, my darling. Welcome to you. Love is a battlefield. I hope that's very much a thing, isn't it? That's very much a thing. Ed's put doodah in the chat. Thank you, Ed. I hope you're right. My friends have dwindled over the years. Listen, they do. They do, right? Absolutely, they do. I am 40 years old. 40 years old right now, and I've actually probably gained friends in the last 10 years, but I've still got like 5, maybe 6 people that I consider friends, maybe a little bit more than that, 7, 8, but they're very much like not many actual friends. But the thing is, I never had a lot of friends anyway. I know, right? Get that violin out again. I never had a lot of friends. Because, you know, I'm a bit odd and strange and not for conventional people. So I've worked that out. I am a fine wine, right? I am one of those really expensive bottles that you've got to lay down in a properly air conditioned and climate controlled thingy underground, right? You got to have it in a vault. I'm one of those wines, right? I'm in a vault. I'm special. And I've got a lot of tannins. Is that good? Are tannins good? I don't know. But I'm one of those, right? I am not a bottle of Gallo, Ernestine Giulio Gallo, or Bloomfield, or whatever the other like cheap. But I'm not a £8 bottle of wine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not for everybody. I'm not one. I'm not a Lambrini that's going to be. Everyone's going to be able to go. Oh, it's all right. This. I have a couple of glasses. No, I am a fine wine with very explicit tastes. Right? You've got to know what you're getting to get me, if that makes sense. Oh, you flipped out. Not that. Right? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh yeah, a narrow display cabinet, or hang on, people, yeah, Sierra, people come, people go, some dumb, some don't, some come to teach you, some to help. Yes, absolutely. And sometimes they teach you by being absolute dickheads, to be honest. It's true, right. Yes, Ed, I think you need to have a wall And I think you need to have something where the wall looks fake, and then you press a button and it goes, and then you've got all the weapons, and they're all like shiny and everything. Look awesome. Anyway, right, I've got a super chat in for Amis Spirituel. Is that right? Amis Spirituel. Yes. Let's have a look. Right, okay, I'm going to do your reading, my darling, straight after. In fact, to tell you what, I'm going to do your reading straight after this, because we are into gifting season, and I do have some things available if people would like to purchase witchy type stuff for friends. So please do check this out. Yes, indeed. thewitchesroad.co.uk. There is an awful lot of information on there about witchy type subjects. Lots of PDFs that you can download and peruse and study. There's going to be videos going up there in December with a lot more information on. And also, if you click on the witchy supplies button, it will take you to a whole section where there are witch casket subscription box items. There are herbs. I'm going to be putting my new version of my smudge sprays up, and also things like some jewelry that I have made with matching earring sets and all of that. And we're going to have an area for pre-loved items, so secondhand books, tarot decks, all of that as well. So do check that out. Anyway, am I spiritual? Oh, is that how I say this? Is it am I spiritual? Is it Amy Spirituel? I'm not sure. Anyway, we're gonna crack on. Hopefully I'm saying it right. And Wispy, oh no, that one. Wispy, my darling. We've got a reading for Amy Spiritual, or am I spiritual, or am I spirituel? The person on screen. Wispy knows. It says, should my Capricorn friend leave his job and pursue his own business? Any indication of what that business should be? Thank you. It's always a bit difficult when I get asked to recommend a business. That fell face down, not face up. Oh, thank you, Rufus. Hang on, everybody. I'm just swapping.
I'm free with any small purchase.
Okay, Rufus is saying he is free on Black Friday weekend, so he is available with any small purchase. Hang on, everyone. I'm just the microphone for some reason has just died. I will say Neil saw this live in action yesterday, where the wire just popped out of itself. Right, hopefully that will make it visible. And there we go. Hopefully I'm back with the sound. Yay. There we go. I'm back. Can you hear me now? It's Amy. Right, okay. Amy. Hello, you should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me now? But yeah, you can. Thank you, Sarah. Buy from your website and get a free Rufus. No, it doesn't work like that. No, That isn't what I was saying. I was saying that everybody needs to get a Rufus, but you can't have this one because he's mine. And then Rufus says, did he get any offers? And then he said, because it's Black Friday weekend, if you buy one, you get one free or something like that. You get one at a discount. You don't. As I said, I will fight you all for this one. He's mine. He's my lovely Rufus. You can't have him. I adore him. Making him sound like a puppy dog or something. But, you know, to be fair, he's got his own free will. And if he wants to, then I will. No, I won't. I'll fight you for him. Anyway, right. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. Something about something. Amy Spiritual. Thank you, my darling. Hopefully, I don't even know why. I didn't even knock the microphone, so I don't know why that happened. But let's do it again. Here we go. Cleansing the energy, cleansing the space, round and round and round. I'm going to cleanse the bloody microphone. Here we go. Sorry if that was in. If you're wearing headphones, I do apologize. That was right in your earphones, wasn't it? In your ear holes. Right then. So let's have a look. La 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 la. Here we go. So then, Wispy, Amy Spiritual would like to know, should her Capricorn friend leave his job and pursue his own business? Any indication on what that business could be? This is what I was saying. It's really difficult for me to advise a business, because if I say, oh yeah, go into, I don't know, mobile phone repairs. I mean, I don't know anybody gets their phone repaired these days. It's just, you know, it breaks, people buy new ones. But anyway, they shouldn't. We should all get everything repaired. But anyway, say I said that and it went really badly, then you could blame me. But what I will say is, in fact, let me do this. Hang on. Here we go. You do make all your own decisions in your own life. Okay, so your Capricorn friend makes all the decisions in his own life. But let's have a look and see if the cards have got some ideas, because it could be that we'll get some ideas. However, this bit, any indication of what business, that's really difficult to say, because I've never met him, haven't had a conversation. If we were able to have a conversation, then it might give me a few ideas as to what areas he's really interested in, what areas sort of pique his interest, what areas he's passionate about, things like that. But let's just see whether he should leave his job first of all. So, Wispy, that is what we want to know, my friend. We want to know, should the Capricorn friend leave his job and try and pursue something else? Right now, first of all, look at that. The very first card. Right. This card does not mean what it says on the tin, right? You can see this is a rather handsome person. What a handsome devil he is. This is the devil card. It is not Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Old Nick, Old Scratch. None of that. This is not connected to the Christian idea of Satan, right? It is connected to the idea of materialism, putting needs forward, putting matters of the body over matters of the spirit. So things like the 5 elements, right? Earth, air, fire, water, and spirit is the 5th. Spirit is at top. The 4 other elements are earthly elements. If you twist it upside down, so an inverted pentagram, which is for Satanism, it's not, then you get the idea of putting physical needs above spiritual. Sometimes we need to do that. Sometimes we need a roof over our heads and food in our bellies, and being all, the universe shall provide. I will mane padme om until I get my house. Great. How are you feeling on that park bench 3 months later? Do you know what I mean? The devil in the tarot does not represent the Christian idea of the devil, because it doesn't exist for tarot readers and pagans and all of that. Secondly, the death card doesn't mean death. Not that we're going to necessarily get that up, but the death card doesn't mean death. It means transformation. Okay, so just bear that in mind. A lot of people, when the devil or the death card pop up, will get absolutely fixated on that one card. It doesn't mean what it says on the tin in this case. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I will record these one day and have them just play, because yes, gets very tedious having to repeat it every time, but I have to because people get stuck on those two cards. So we've got the idea of materialism, but we've got materialism not being so important coming in. Okay, so this is what your friend needs, where your friend is, the energy that we're entering into December, the energy that's been around. So we've got this idea that when the devil is reversed, either the focus on monetary needs, the focus on that sort of materialistic values is less important now, or it means that, you know, in some instances it could be that the focus has shifted, and actually the maybe the job's been lost, or the contracts have been destroyed, because the devil is in the contract, the devil's in the details. It's also linked to contracts sometimes, because the standard image of the devil has him on a plinth, and in front of the plinth are two people chained to that plinth, often depicted as a man and a woman. It's also seen as a card representing marriage. And so when it's reversed, it could mean the splitting of those chains, the breaking of those chains. Okay, so just be aware of that as well. But very much it looks, especially in a reading about work, that it's bringing that almost that anti-materialism message. It's bringing that message that maybe what your friend needs to do is pay less attention to chasing the material things in life, and maybe spend more attention chasing the things that will make him happy. Question mark, is that what this whole question that you're asking is about? Let's find out. So then, in what you need to know, the Knight of Cups, right? Cups is the emotional suit. Knights are the ones who run into encounters all guns blazing. Do you know what I mean? They are the ones who run into a fire without thinking of the consequences. They're the ones who go off on a quest. The knights go off on a quest for the Holy Grail. Do we know what it is, your sire, your majesty? Do we know what the Holy Grail is? It's a cup. Well, is it like a cup of tea cup? Is it a flagon? Is it what is it, a wine goblet? Is it? It's a holy cup. Right, but do we know? Is it jeweled? Is it? Well, it's a holy cup, and it's very valuable. Right. Okay. All right. I tell you what, I'll miss this quest. Says medieval me. You know, I'll miss this one. Thanks, sire. I don't know what I'm looking for, so I'm not going to go. The knights are the ones that go off on all these quests and adventures without even thinking about it. They're the ones who act before thinking about the repercussions. And even if you said to them, if you do this, if you go on a quest for a Holy Grail, a cup that you don't even know what it looks like, have no idea what it is or where it could possibly be anywhere in the world, then I will divorce you and marry your brother. Okay, you're going anyway. Right, bye then. See ya, says me. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I was both the person doing the quest and the person's partner then. But anyway, forget all of that. The knights are the ones who act following their emotions. Now, if it is the case that your friend is really not feeling those emotions where they are now and want to make a shift to make them happy, this is the energy that this card is giving. However, it is that teenage energy, and you've got to be really careful when you're in this position, or when you've got this teenage energy, that you don't jump out the frying pan into the fire because you haven't taken enough steps. If he's currently employed, maybe pause a little bit, save as much money as possible over the next 6 months, 12 months, so when he does make that jump, it isn't blindly, because that's the one warning with the knights. They often do not think about repercussions, and that leads them down into all sorts of problems later on. Let's see what the later one is like. The 8 of Wands reversed. Right, again, bit of a warning. The 8 of Wands is about throwing the elements of your life, the pillars of your life, up into the air and taking forward towards the 9, towards that journey, taking forward the ones that you want to choose that best serve you. When it's reversed, it's like this shift right now could be an almighty blunder, because things are not prepared, right? If you just chuck your life and follow the night and just throw everything up in the air, then what happens? how do you pay the bills? How do you do the things in life that we still need to do? Like, this is very much, although this is about confidence, it's still that thing of, right, so you've given up the job and gone off on this quest of yours to find and to start a new business, and you're going off to be your own boss. And have you thought about the costs? Have you thought about how you're gonna, survive for the first 6 months before you make any profit, or the first year? Like, globally, where, depending on where you are in the world, what's going to happen in terms of, tariffs coming in for certain businesses? Is the business going to be something that is wanted? Blah blah blah. Do you have a business plan? Do you have a full idea? All of that. This card needs to be. This is a really positive card when it's this way up. It's like, yay, go for it. Make those big jumps and make those big steps and follow your dreams. This way, it's like, be careful. Be careful. Because it's like you're throwing away good stuff as well as the bad. This is like, what is it they say? Chucking the baby out with the bathwater. Be careful. Right, let's link. So linking the devil to the Knight of Cups. We've got the Two of Cups reversed. Right, so this is to do, Two of Cups for me is about relationships. So is this you and your friend? Does your friend have a partner? How is this connected? Because we've got the Two of Cups coming in. Interestingly, that I said about the devil being about marriage, the Two of Cups is that partnership, right? When it splits, so this is, twos are partnerships for me, cups is emotional. So this is a relationship. When it's reversed like this next to the devil and the Knight of Cups, is this somebody who is potentially cheating? Is this somebody who is potentially going to, throw away a relationship to follow his heart? Is that relationship important enough to not do it? It feels very much like this is that teenage energy I said about, and this is the thing that's going to be regretted. This is like the flack, the friendly fire in that decision to move forward. It's like the unforeseen consequences of their actions. It was, I'm not quite sure what happened. I think it was that, and I did that, so it will be that way up. So we've got, again, you've got another major arcana, which is the Sun. I'm pretty sure it came up reversed. Again, the Sun is all about growth. The Sun is potentially linked into a child, to having a child and new life in that way. But the Sun is about growth and energy, because nothing on this planet survives without the Sun's energy. When it's reversed, it's saying that either that energy is lacking, or that growth energy is just kind of, it's not really being harnessed and used in the way that it could best be. So this, again, at the moment is saying, I think if this is what you need to know and this is where you are, it's like there is definitely something here that your friend doesn't realize about branching out on their own. There is something here that your friend is either purposefully ignoring, or potentially ignorant with a small I, ignorant of. They don't know enough, right? Be bloody careful. And the root of all of this, we've got the Four of Swords. So the Swords is trouble and strife, challenges and hurdles. The Four is a sense of stability, but with the Swords, it's like boredom, right? So normally fours are quite positive, because you've got four table legs, four chair legs. It's quite a positive sort of vibe that comes with the card. With the Swords, it's like every day waking up and going into that office every day is a pain in the ass. He really doesn't like it, doesn't want to do it. It's like same old on that corporate treadmill, that idea of, trudging along, doing the corporate thing. However, as much as he might want to jump out of that rat race and jump into something more life affirming, more spiritually connecting, all of these cards are saying it's not the time, right? All of the cards are saying it's not the time. This is very much a not now, right? Not now. That doesn't mean that it isn't at any time in the future. It's just saying I can genuinely only read for about a couple of months out, right? big picture stuff, you can kind of feel maybe up to about 3 months, 4 months at a push. But generally speaking, when we're looking at details, the nearer to the events, it's a bit like if you've seen Loki, the time stream, and it splits. There's lots of choices that can happen. And so that where the life is headed, in the shorter term, it's easier to see because there's less splits. But as that splits and then splits off from that one, it's a lot harder to determine what's coming. This is why any tarot reader that says, "Oh, I'll do your reading for 2027," really bullshit. What you're hoping for is that I've forgotten what you said about 2027 when I get there. But anyway, I digress. This very much looks like he is desperate to make a change and desperate to head in his own direction, be his own boss, right? What I would advise, looking at these cards, he's not ready, right? This is apparent because the only character card that we've got is the Knight. The Devil doesn't really count because it isn't a depiction of a person. It's a depiction of, an idealism, if you like. The Sun doesn't count because it's the sun. The Knight is the one that the only characterization, the only character card that we've got, and the Knights are the most it's almost like they're all ADHD. They all just will oh, I want to go and buy that right now, so I bought it. Well, did you check? Do you actually need it? Did you check if it's available anywhere else at a better price? Did you check if this was the right model? Will it fit with what you already got at home? No, I just bought it, and if it doesn't fit, I'll send it back and get another one. That is me to a T, right? The Knights jump into things without giving it the full thought. What I would advise looking at these, stay in the job, spend evenings and weekends looking for other opportunities, looking for other things that will give him that spark, right? And then the Marie Kondo spark. And then if he really likes, I don't know, working with let's create a job, right? Say he really likes helping people get, oh, I don't know. Say, here we go. Say he really likes sandwiches, making sandwiches, right? Feeding people. And he wants to start a food truck, right? Or something like that. Okay, great. You can go and do that anytime. You just need money to buy a food truck. So that's one thing. Save the money for a food truck. Off you go. But you also need to have a food hygiene certificate. You also need to have, other legal work done to make sure that your van is up to code. You also need to do some advertising, work out what the business model is going to be. Are you going to travel to all the festival circuit? In which case, what are you doing in the winter? Is this going to be a particular type of food truck? Are you going to specialize in XYZ? Is there a market for that? Are you doing something that is so random that no one's ever going to buy it? Are you making crisp sandwiches? What is it you are actually doing? The idea of a food truck is great. How are you going to make it work? Spend the next year focusing on all of those details, getting those qualifications, getting all of that in play. What you'll probably find is the things you wanted to do aren't feasible, or the things that you wanted to do actually are going to take a lot more effort and a lot more skills that you don't have, in which case learn them, right? This is not the time. However, if he's got an idea, something that he's passionate about, something that he's put time and effort into researching and getting the qualifications in, whilst also working a mundane, crappy job that he doesn't like, but is paying the bills and putting some money aside for that future food truck or whatever it is, that is what he needs to do. Hopefully that makes sense. And thank you very much for the question, Amy. And yeah, fingers crossed. I would absolutely recommend staying put for now, because yeah, difficult. Anyway, right, let's have a look in that there chat. Let me turn the camera back to that. There we go. Oh, Code Deb's here. Hello, Code Deb. Hello, my darling. Is it free delivery from Rufus? No, it's not. No. No. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Code Deb. Yes, I've got my sound sorted. Yes, thank you very much. We don't have. I know. I am looking forward to Yule. I am really looking forward to Yule this year. I won't be going up to Cumbria, but I also. Oh, actually, me and Neil bumped into the woman who ran the coven I was going to join, the priestess of the coven, and I won't be doing that, but they are part of, or she used to be part of, the pagan fed, so I know that there is a stone circle in Leeds. I might see if I can go up to the stone circle actually for solstice. Manipulation, yeah, that comes up in manipulation. This is the Light Seers deck, my darling. It is a very, very well-known deck. There are lots and lots of forgeries and fakes out there with really crappy depictions, especially the ones with the QR on the code from China. Don't buy any of them. They are really crappy. They've done a really bad job of copying them. The quality is shit, and they've even cropped some of the cards. Really bad. I would never ever recommend them. Yeah, Light Seers. Oh, thank you, Patricia. I didn't see you commented there. You just dropped off a bunch of no longer used clothes. You feel cleansed. You do, don't you? We've been doing that. We are having some winter cleaning going on, and getting rid of a lot of stuff. Neil was over yesterday, and the whole flat is completely upside down and round the twist. We had, before he came, I had to move stuff out of here into the bathroom because you just couldn't, like, literally coming in here was like an assault course. Like, you had to climb over things to get into this room. So I've had to move them. So we put them in the bathroom because everywhere else in the entire flat has stuff in and on it at the moment. It does make a lot of sense. Thank you, Amy, my darling. He wants to open a coffee shop. Oh, in this market, in this day and age, going up against Costa and Starbucks and Nero and all of those, you can make it work. You can make it work, but my God, is it expensive. Right, so the best place to buy any tarot deck is your local witchy, alternative, spooky wooky, wiki wacky shop, right? Your local alternative shop that sells the crystals and the tarot and the incense. That is the number one best place to get them, right? Absolutely, hands down, 100%. If, however, you can't get them there, then look at other places. You can buy some online, secondhand, on places like Depop and eBay. However, I would say 90% of the decks that I have bought secondhand have been fakes, and I've had to return them and put claims in and all of that. It is not worth the effort to try and buy a secondhand cheap deck unless you know specifically what you're looking for, and you get all the pictures, and does it come with the little white book or the booklet, all of that. So for me, if you can afford to buy a new deck, then Amazon or the publishers, these are published by Hay House. So if you go to the Hay House, HAY House website, then normally they're available on there. Yes, it should come with a book, my darling. Absolutely. And as I say, the book should be like that. Should be one of these. Right. Shan out. No, we've got a free. Right. There is a free reading list. I'm going to open up a round, but I also need to nip off very briefly. So yeah, Amazon will have them £15 to £20. Any cheaper, it's probably a forgery, a counterfeit. Right then, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I will pop this ticker tape up. I will press the magic button. I will put this on the bottom of the screen, but I'm going to swap out the usual 30 minutes, and I'm going to pop this little coffee shop thing on because I need to nip to the powder room, as the Americans would say. Unfortunately, I've been sat here since 6 o'clock and I thought I could hold off, but I've drunk too much pop basically, so I need to go and take care of that. While I do, feel free to put your questions in. This is effectively the opening of a free round. So go ahead. Once I'm back, I'll do I'll pick somebody, or the keeper of the questions will pick somebody, and I will do their reading. Okie dokie. Go ahead. You got hopefully about a minute. And I'm back. Hopefully that made everybody fancy a nice hot drink. But yes, right then. So, keeper of the questions, can you please let me know? Let me know who it is. Amy Spiritual. Did you like the coffee shop then? Did that feel like it was linked? It wasn't, unfortunately. But yeah, I am a big fan of coffee shops and a big fan of coffee as a rule. Waiting for the keeper of the questions, please. Oh no, that one. What am I doing? I'm turning off the wrong banner. Let me have a look. Who? Maybe is that just not updating? Oh no. Right then. So, thank you, Holland. Sorry, Holland. Holland was doing a spinny thing. We've got Country. Country, hello, my darling. Be careful how you say it. Country, how is Antoine? Feeling about our connection currently since our disagreement yesterday. Oh, my darling. Right, let's have a wee look. Oh, God, there were loads of questions or comments in on that one. Right then. So, I'm on the wrong doodah. Right. I need 15 seconds, Country, to change the camera angle, and then I'll do your reading. There we go. Right then. Oh, so then, as always, we ding-a-ling-a-ling on all the way round 3 times, and we bring in Whiskey, the elemental air dragon, Egregore servitor, thought form that I work with, that I actually created my dragons. I know, right? I am literally the mother of dragons. I know, right? Oh, there we go. And so Wispy, Country Love Homestead So careful how I say that. Wants to know, how is Antoine feeling about our connection currently since our disagreement yesterday? So how is Antoine feeling after the disagreement? Let's have a wee look. So then let's do your drop. There we go. Let me know, everybody, by the way, what sort of Witchmas videos that you would like. I am doing Witchmas this year, which is a bit of vlogging, but also some witchy type questions. So if you would like me to cover tarot, other type things, how I read and bits and bobs like that, or if you want witchy content, witchy ideas, spell ideas, anything like that, let me know, because as I say, I will be doing Witchmas. So there will be videos up every day, fingers crossed, in December. Right then, oh, I tell you what, go on country, bear with me let's indulge me for 5 seconds. There you go, this Witchmas. Right then, so Wispy, we're going with what ooh, what do we feel? Do we just do the standard three? We're just going to do the standard three, Wispy. I was going to change the spread then for a second. So where you are right now, right, where the energy is between you. Oh, you've pissed the Emperor off. Is Antoine, is it a one of these connections? Is it like a physical sexual connection? Is it like that sort of thing? Because we've got a pissed off Emperor. We've got the Emperor reversed in where you are now. So then what you need to know. Oh, right. I said this earlier, right? I said this earlier. Let me just, here we go. Changing the camera again. You know what it means. This is a public service announcement. This card is a beautiful card, right? Look at that. Look at this. And it's the rebirth card, right? Absolutely lovely. It is the rebirth card. As you can see, it's number 13 in the tarot deck, the rebirth card. It's beautiful because you can see we've got new life there. Look at that sunrise in the cowl, because it is also known as the death card. This is not about the ending. This is not about somebody passing, leaving this life, the mortal plane, anything like that. This is not about, you know, a permanent physical end to a life, anything like that. Nobody's being unalived. This is not what this is. It is the rebirth card. It is a new chapter, a new beginning, a transformation. That is what the card represents. So as I said with the devil card, this is one of the cards that people always remember, right? They'll go, oh, I had all these cards turn up. There was definitely the two of round things. I think it was pennies or something, but then the death card was there, so it obviously means I'm going to die before Christmas. No, it doesn't, right? People remember it because it is such a misnamed card. Rebirth is what this card, or transformation is what this card should be about. Right then, hopefully with that explained, I'm going to go back to the reading. There we go. So you've got the Emperor reversed, you've got the rebirth card, and for the future, you've got the Three of Pentacles. So then, I think you've pissed off your Emperor. I do. I've got a feeling that you have pissed off your Emperor country. Oh dear. Right. So where you are right now, the Emperor, major arcana card, obviously, and the major, the Emperor is all about a person, normally a male figure who is, or male leaning, I should say, who is very much in control, right? Because the tarot deck is very hereditary. No, it's not. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Hierarchical. Thank you, brain. It's very hierarchical, right? And unfortunately, it's also very patriarchal in most cases. And so the Emperor, whoever holds that title, is effectively the head of the political realm of the tarot, right? If you think of it as a giant, massive kingdom, right, or empire, as you will. The emperor is in charge of all the day-to-day running, making all the decisions for all of the people. Under the emperor, just slightly under, is the empress. So as much as the empress is about the well-being of the people, the emperor is about, can even overrule the empress, in the same way that the Hierophant, as the guru, as the highest spiritual leader in the deck, can overrule the high priestess, right? So you've got this hierarchical element. The emperor is very, very authoritarian, and in real life terms can be somebody who is, maybe a bit of an alpha male, maybe somebody who is very much likes his thing, if that makes sense. He likes his life to be a certain way, likes the good things in life. He's very much that type of I would say alpha male. I mean, just look at him, right? Look at the Riz. I know, right? Look at me using all the Gen Z, alpha, whatever. Look at me, right? He's Riz to the nines, right? His fit is on fleek. He is rizzed up, big, proper, in it, blood. But he's just got that swagger. He just holds himself. You know that this emperor would absolutely bring the. You know what I mean? He would.
Oh my!
Absolutely, this emperor brings it, right? There's a reason. Look at the size of his chest piece. Do you know what I'm saying, right? When he's reversed, yeah, he's pissed off. I think whatever's happened between you, I think he is probably feeling a bit undermined, right? Whether his authority or whether his sense of masculinity or his sense of, being the alpha, something there has been piqued, because he's very much, you know what I mean? He's very much meh, if you get what I'm saying. He's very much, yeah, he's just pissed. I think, I don't know whether this is a permanent shift or not, but currently you've shifted the relationship so much so that I think he's very pissed off, right? If it's something, how can I put this? Right, I'll tell you what, I'll do you the three. Right, so the Three of Pentacles normally would be about growth, looking for longer term strategy. Sometimes threes represent children and long-term issues like that. Sometimes I always say the Three of Pentacles is a learning card, because it often talks about apprenticeships and things along those lines, education. It's reversed, so it feels almost, if these two cards, right, were this way before, and now whatever the argument or disagreement was, it's made this happen. That's where the transformation comes in. It's a massive transformation, right? Because it's almost like he's gone from being your emperor and being there for you and being your protector, and whether you need that or not, it's, go with the idea in his head that he is protecting you, because whether you need it or not, he's the alpha male, you're his woman, blah, 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 all of that stuff that can be toxic. But in his case, he genuinely cares, and he genuinely is there to protect, to help and protect and support and do all of those lovely boyfriendy type things, and also expect you to reciprocate. And, he's wanting to be that lovely supportive person, but in his head, he's wanting that maybe slightly traditional masculinized role of being, being the one that is fairly high up on the, he's the alpha, he's the provider almost. And that may or may not include having kids, because the Three of Pentacles, quite often, this can represent either having kids or taking that learning forward, taking the relationship to the next step, moving in, getting married, adopting a cat, having kids, all of those things. Now, Pentacles is the work, career, finances, but this is growth. And it could be that there's something here where he's feeling a bit stunted. I don't know whether it's, I'm going to pour you another card, Country, because I don't know whether it's something that you can come back from easily. Now, it depends on what the disagreement was. If it is something where you are, if it is something where, you maybe were in the wrong, then absolutely hold your hands up, apologize, say, oopsie, didn't mean that, sorry if I offended you or hurt your feelings or whatever, blah, blah, blah. If it is something that you are a little bit more like holding your ground for, is it something that is worth losing the relationship over, right? As much as you may be in the right, if his feelings have been hurt and he's butthurt about something, right? And it may be this idea of, because I ain't being funny, in your photo, you look like a strong, independent woman. Do you know what I mean? You do not look like somebody who would have the emperor happily, you know, have a man protect you. You look very much like you are somebody who would, you know, accept that, but also be able to stand on your own 2 feet and make your own decisions. And that is really important, right? If it's something where it's if it's something where you've made a decision and he disagrees and you've gone ahead and done it anyway without explaining, if there's anything at all where you've kind of, I'm not saying stepped out of line, because that's absolutely not what I'm suggesting, and that is not the type of relationship I would advocate for at all. But if there's something where it's like it could have been a couple decision about the relationship, or maybe it's something like, you know, who's being invited to Christmas or whatever it is, right? If it's a couple's decision and you've gone ahead and made it singularly, that could be an issue. If it's something where, you know, put it this way, whatever the cause of the disagreement was, if he had done that action, and if the roles were reversed, what would you do to try and piece it back together? Do you know what I mean? I'm really, hang on, let me come into the comments. Hang on, where are we? Oh, there we go. You're an overthinker and it annoys him. Okay. Well, okay. So there's two things here. Either this is an area of compromise where he needs to accept and respect the fact that you are always going to overthink. However, there is also an element, right? There's a quote that I've got in my Book of Shadows, and it came from a book by Poppy Z. Bright. And the quote is, not everybody likes their heads being looked into. So look if you have to, but learn to keep your mouth shut, right? That echoed with me because I used to see auras and I had to learn to shut it down, because I would be in the street and I'd say to someone, oh, you've been poorly recently. Don't worry, I think you'll be okay. Or, you know, you need to get this checked out, that checked out. And nobody likes that. Nobody likes someone just coming up to them and saying, you know, you've got a poorly pancreas or whatever it is. So I had to learn to shut that shit down. Now, as an overthinker, absolutely overthink everything, right? If that's what you do, that's what you do. But do you recognize when you are overthinking something and then voicing that overthinking? Is that something that maybe you need to compromise on? He needs to compromise on the fact that you are always going to overthink a situation and, you know, accept that that's the way you are. But maybe you need to also learn to maybe not express some of those things that you've overthought, and maybe discuss it in a different way. Because again, part of my ADHD is I really struggle with rejection sensitivity disorder. So all it takes for me is if Rufus gets up in the morning and is sort of still waking up, right? He can, to me, I read it as, oh, he's being a bit grumpy, he's being a bit short with me. What have I done? I must have upset him. I must have pissed him off, blah, blah, blah. And it triggers my RSD to such an extent where I'll be like, are you okay? Have I done anything? Have I said anything? And he's like, I'm just waking up. And I've learned, I will still ask it probably 3 days out of 7, right? So I still ask it, but those other 4 days I've learned to catch it before it leaves my mouth and shut down and go, no, it's just because he's waking up. He's not pissed off at you. This is just how he is, right? If it's something like that the two of you can work out, and basically you can both accept that, he doesn't like it when you overthink a situation and speak about it because you've taken it from A to Z, or from A to G, right? Whereas actually it's for him, it's still on A. So he said something, and he's maybe said, oh, I like turkey, and you've gone, oh, okay, in that case, we're going to go on holiday to Turkey, and we're going to book this. And I've already gone ahead and booked, looked at flights. And actually what he was saying is, I like the meat, turkey, and I enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Or something. And I know that's a flippant thing, but within a relationship, it can be something like that. And it's just that difficult element where when two people are sort of on an equal footing but have a slightly different way of understanding each other, that's the learning here. This is the learning, right? That is those learning things. Oh, hang on, you're right, you're struggling to bow down a little and let him lead. You want to, but you're scared. You've never met a man like him. Explain that to him, right? This will probably be the way out. Listen, explain it to him. Get him to sit down and say, look, I adore you, but I am still getting used to having somebody that I don't have to mother. I'm still getting used to a relationship where it's not all on me. So when you do, autonomous things that normal couples do, and you make those decisions, I feel a certain way because of my background. I am trying to work through those, but I'm always going to have, a bit of a thought. I'm learning that is my problem, not yours. And I'm sorry if blah, 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 go into whatever happened. And, it's funny because as soon as this card was pulled, and bearing in mind, we've had a few interactions, we've done a few readings and things for you in the past. I absolutely thought this, right? I absolutely thought this. Absolutely thought that it was something where it's like he's wanting to be a bit alpha, right? And that's fine, but you're used to being the decision maker for yourself. And when you meet someone that isn't toxic, that isn't a toxic masculine, that isn't somebody who being alpha means he controls everything you do and everything you say, and you've got to run everything past him. But for this emperor, being an alpha is just, he looks after his people. Whereas for most alphas, it's a power trip, right? For you, accepting that this alpha isn't on a power trip, he's just looking after his people, and that you are one of his people, that, my darling, will take a bit of time. But yeah, I think you need to have a really big discussion, talk about these points, about your abandonment issues, talk about the fact that, he is the person you want to be with and you adore him and you are trying to let him lead, but just say at the moment, it's does he dance? Right? It sounds ridiculous. Does he dance? Could you maybe get him to try this, right? To get in to play some music, right? And dance with him and let him lead, right? But then say to him, look, it's like this. I am used to me leading, and then you try and lead him and say to him, look, just go with what I'm doing. Wait, I don't mean like, is he a tango expert? But just right. He would have danced with women on dance floors at some point, surely, right? He would have led the dance at some point. So it's a good technique for this sort of thing where you just say to him, look, come on, we'll put some music on, a little bit of, I don't know, Luther Vandross. Everybody likes Luther, right? We'll put some Luther Vandross on. We'll have a little bit of a romantic type dance, and just say, I want to do something, right? Imagine, well, as I'm dancing, right? Just let me say to him, right, we're going to dance, and I want you to just go with whatever happens for the next couple of minutes, right? And then you try and lead him, and say to him, do you see how unnatural that feels for you as a alpha male, as somebody who is used to being, you know, to being the leader and the pack leader and all of that? Do you see how uncomfortable that is for you to be led? I'm used to being a pack leader because I've never been able to trust anybody else. And then while you're holding him, say, right, and now I'm letting you lead, and see if he will then try and move and say, and that is as difficult for me emotionally as it is for you on the dance floor, right? In your lounge or whatever, right? See how that feels now for you. That's a much more comfortable fit for you to lead me around the dance floor. Actually, I'm getting used to allowing someone else to lead. And put it in those terms, my darling, because that may be something that he understands, if that makes sense. Yeah, try that, because it's a good physical way for him to understand how emotionally how that difference takes place. Okay. And it's something where, again, if he is a little bit older than you, he's definitely been around the dance floor with a woman at some point in his life, and he's definitely led that, right? Even if it is just shuffling around to a bit of Luther, you know, at a Christmas party or whatever it is, he's definitely done that at some point, right? And if you make him go backwards and you try and make him and then turn here, I'm literally dancing in my chair as I'm doing it, right? But if you try and if you literally kind of try and lead him as if it's, you know, a dance floor situation, and you're kind of, you know, wanting to turn him that way, which for him is going backwards, he will probably go, oh, it's a very good way to explain how you feel without having to get into, well, actually, you make me feel this and I feel that, and right? It's a good way, if that makes sense. I hope it helps, country. No, listen, I hope it helps. Listen, right? I don't know where that piece of advice came from. I have no idea. I have never said that before in my entire life. It is an intuitive jump. That for me has come from Wispy, right? It's come from the universe. I don't know whether it will work. I don't know whether it will help. I don't know whether he will listen, but it's worth a try, right? And it's I think it would be a good way for him to experience what it feels like for you to give that trust to someone else, and then say to him, you know, I do trust you. I absolutely trust you. I'm just getting used to being led around a dance floor. And then just, you know, you could even then end it with a little flirty, but you know, one place where I do like being led. Unless you're a leader there as well. And I'm not going into that. That is it from me tonight. Good evening, Nanette, my darling. I hope you are well. I really do. I love the dream catcher. So thank you to everybody for being here tonight. I've had a really wonderful evening, actually. Do leave me your comments. And if you're watching this on replay, put them in the description box, not the description box, the comment box below, right? I do want to know your ideas. Yeah. Saying nothing. There are some places in life where it's very okay to let someone else lead. You know what I'm saying? I am all for equality, but sometimes I'll let someone else lead. Anyway, I'm not going there. So I am blushing now. I am absolutely blushing. But listen, all I'm going to say is thank you very much for joining. Don't forget, if you've got ideas for Witchmas, if there are things specifically you would like my take on, or you want me to cover throughout December, please do put them in the chat box or the comment box down below. If you are one of the members, I will be posting on the members only forum on the comment section there for you to get your comments in as well. For those of us that follow, or for those of you that follow us over on the weight loss channel, don't forget tomorrow is the very last chance for the vegan cookbook, and I will be me and Rufus both will be going live over there at some point tomorrow evening to announce who's getting the cookbook over on the other channel. But that is going to be it for me tonight. I am back on Tuesday. Today is Sunday, right? Yes, I'm back on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. There should, all fingers crossed, be a little video coming up tomorrow on this here channel. I know, right? Witchmas has well and truly started, so do look out for that one as well. And that is it from us. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will definitely see you on the next one, which, as I say, will be on Tuesday. Don't forget, Witchmas, get your ideas in. That will be really helpful. And I'll see you very soon. Take care.